Evening, VC. Jeff back again. It's been a kind of rough week, but anyway, I've got a huge stack. I'm just gonna try to get to this quickly. Didn't really sort it. Some new to me stuff, and then we got some revisits. These are some ones I picked up when I was young from their shows. So Pedge, they're a DC area indie band. They were playing with a lot of emo bands, but I think they're more in that little more emo, or no, sorry, a little more get more of that classic '90s indie sound than hardcore maybe. But yeah, pretty solid outing for all day long. I believe these guys were from the Richmond area. If not, yeah, these guys were definitely from the Richmond area. I think this is where Jack Rose came from, as I recall. These guys were pretty good live. Not as good as their other 7-inch I think I showed last week, but Ugly Head, pretty good stuff. Noise rock. It's a slightly experimental maybe, but pretty solid non-noise rock thing. Revisited this guy. This was a lot better than I remember. It's been years since I played that album. Zeppelin. I guess they're recorded live. Sorry, it dropped 7-inch there. Another 7-inch, Love Child, back with This Will Be the Day. Yeah, pretty solid outing. I'm on the fence if I want to get the full LP for this. I'm probably good with Love Child on 7-inch though. Really like that single. Showed this a few weeks ago, Unwound, Live Leaves. So this is the live recording of their final album plus a few others with the extra hands on deck to kind of reproduce the studio sound. Pretty solid outing. Would it be what I go for if you don't have any other Unwound? Probably not. But if you're a fan, especially if they're later stuff, this is a must-have, I'd say, for Unwound fans. This was a gift from a friend. Love and Rockets, Earth, Sun, Moon. I'm not sure they had any big hits off this guy, but yeah, pretty solid outing. That late '80s alternative vein. Yeah, I don't think any of the big ones are on this guy, but yeah, it's a solid album. Pretty solid 4 there. Again, I probably wouldn't go out of my way for that one, but if you see it, a good price maybe. Love this one, Lydia Lunch, Queen of Siam, pretty classic Lydia. Again, no wave, out of New York. She was like recording with Sonic Youth at the time. It's a pretty solid one, 4.5. Those are on the time of Death Valley, 69, all that fun stuff. Music India, got this one cleaned up. This was, I think, a thrift sign. I know it was a thrift sign. Don't think I paid much for it. Really good example of ragas. If you see this, it's worth picking up unless you don't like ragas. Pretty 4.5 there. So Crash Normal, French, noise rock by way of garage rock. Yeah, if you see it's inexpensive, I wouldn't go out of your way for it, but pretty solid 4. Just got my little cleaning sticker on it, but picked this up a while back. Aretha Franklin, Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You, in the original Shrink. This one's the one that opens up with Respect. Is it a perfect album? No, but definitely one of her best, if not her best. 4.5 there. This one, I think Sean threw this one in with my last purchase, so thank you, Sean. Decimus, same dudes as all those K Salvatore, or at least one of the dudes from K Salvatore, and what was the band? No Neck Blues Band or whatever. Wait, am I confusing the? Yeah, I think that's what they're. Or it might be. Yeah, I'm getting confused with Climax Blues Band, but no, it is the No Neck Blues Band. Okay, but yeah, pretty solid, but I don't know, not their best, I'd say. This Decimus with what else? I believe can't read the damn font. Anyway, yeah, hand screen print, whatever. Pretty solid 4 there. Ambient, experimental, whatever stuff. Not very long. Not everyone. Say that a lot. Gang of Four, Best of, more or less a one and done. Used to have this on cassette. Kind of regret ditching that, but I think you could do with this one, or you could do with their very first album. But this pretty much contains all the hits off the first album. It's a double discer. May be out of print already. I don't know, but I think the comp came out in the '90s. That's about when I bought that originally on tape. Yeah, 4.5 there. Definitely like towards the later end of their career. I think they get a little less interesting, but dance punk, post punk, whatever. MC5, unfortunately, it's a censored copy, but got it for free, so I can't complain. Do need to get the one that they followed up this one with. But yeah, happy to have this one back in my collection. So thank you, friend. But not watching this. Also got from the same person, Richie Havens. It's on Verve. It's a little jazzy at times, I'd say, but apparently I think this guy was the guy who opened up Woodstock, so that gives you an idea where he's at. If you like your Hendrix, that sort of thing, he's again a little experimental there. So a lot of Eastern influence by way of rock, and it's Woodstock band. pretty solid 4 there. I don't think they go for much, so we're switching out. Errol Gardner, I've been kind of going through my Errol Gardner to see if I could purge any. I've decided I don't care as much for his like early stuff, but yeah, this one's pretty solid. I think I do need to clean this one too. I was thinking about purging this, but after I listen, it's a pretty strong piano jazz, hard bop, whatever album. So I think this was like early 70s, yeah, 72. Promo copy for what it matters. Drive Like Jehu, Yank Crime, probably their best album. Pretty solid noise rocker, and it's got the LP plus like a 7-inch with a few more tracks on it. So is it the best noise rock album ever? No, but it's a pretty solid outing. If you see that for inexpensive, you like noise rock, it's probably worth a visit. I don't know, it's kind of having a weird week. Yesterday and today, don't need to talk about that one, but this is that Japanese Apple pressing. I don't know, like towards the end of side 1, there's a bit of distortion, and I don't think it's my setup. I think that there was a pressing defect. It's kind of weird. Misfits, self-titled comp, pretty solid one. Got a little bit of everything on their early stuff, some unreleased versions, yada yada. Definitely, I really need to get their first album. I don't have it. This one I picked up very inexpensively for less than $1 in Japan. A really clean copy. Fishbone in Your Face. I want to say this is their first album, but yeah, Fishbone's definitely worth a revisit if you haven't heard them in a while. Probably wouldn't go with this one necessarily unless you just saw it a cheap copy like me. The ones that came after this were definitely a little stronger, but really solid 4 there, good stuff. Mudhoney is released through Steve Turner's label. This one came out right before My Brother the Cow, so it's got Into Your Chick, and it's got a Crucifix cover on the B-side. So excellent 7-inch with the was it Cunningham or whatever the dude's name is that did the artwork for them at the time. This one kind of interesting. Series. So the interesting thing about this is for some reason it's going to be hard to show up on video, but everything was on one side of the album. So we've got 2 tracks there, and then this just is not etched or anything. It's just a blank. So, but I do now know that my skating's correctly adjusted on my table. Is this essential? No, but I bought some other stuff from the guy. It was a couple bucks. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a try. But pretty straightforward, hardcore. I think this was like a 2010s release. It's not 2010s, it's around, yeah, it's probably about 10 years old-ish, I guess. I don't know, 5 years, 10 years. Would I go out of my way to get this? No. What if you get it cheap, you like hardcore? it's yeah, there's nothing really stand out about it, but it's a solid outing for Zeries. This one was pretty good. Got this free from the band as like a promo, I guess, on Bandcamp when they first released this. Showed this a couple times. So Neo Psych, if you like your MGMT stuff or Dead or whatever, it kind of falls kind of in between. Jammy Psych, so Moon Weather. Pretty solid 4. I might even go up to 4.5. It's a fun outing. And another free one from my friend. I always confuse on what the proper cover is. I guess this is the cover. Yeah, I guess I don't know. Which side's considered the front? I don't. That one or that one? I don't know. This one you see more often. That looks like the other one's the front from the label, maybe. I guess I fuck if I don't know. Dead, Europe at 92 or 72, not 92. One of their better albums, I guess. It's pretty solid, and revisited this guy, Hammered Holes. I do gotta see these guys live sometime. But if you're a Fugazi fan, definitely check this out. Pretty solid 4.5. DC hardcore in the Fugazi vein from Alec McKay, the slightly lesser known brother. This was, I think Sean threw this in, but Olivia Tremor Control, or maybe I can't remember. But maybe someone could tell me, is it supposed to sound kind of skippy on the first couple tracks, or is there some, maybe there's I don't know. I'm looking at the disc, I can't find any defects on the disc that would cause it, but for some reason, or maybe it's just so much info jammed in there, but it's pretty rare that my player skips. But it's having this weird skippy thing on some of the first tracks. But excellent album otherwise. Super long on a single disc. 4.5 there for. I guess that was considered Paisley Underground, Neo Psych, late 80s, something like that. This was from Sean. It was like a library copy. He threw it in there. White Hills. They've definitely been on my radar for a while. Not this particular album. They're very prolific. This probably wouldn't have been the album I would have gone after myself. They had some pretty interesting collaborations. I think they did one with Ty Segall. So if you like that sort of thing, you like Ty Segall, you probably like White Hills. But excellent rocker there. Tom Waits got this from I think it was definitely free. I think from a friend. Or my brother, I can't remember which. Small Change, I don't know. I'm just really not a Tom Waits fan. It's a really good album. I'll probably keep in the collection, give it a listen or two, but it's enjoyable. This one I did buy from Sean. The Discogs sounded interesting, but it's electronica / experimental. It just sounds like someone jamming on their Casio, man. This was it Delia Gonzalez and Gavin Rossum, The Days of Mars. So this was a disappointment, but I think it was a cheapie. It was one of those ones like, it's in Sean's collection, it's cheap. I'm just going to throw that in the order because it sounds kind of interesting. It wasn't. But Sean didn't remember it either, so I guess he made the same impression on him. Anyway, this one I did pick up for Sean. This was really good. Alvin Quran, very Eastern, kind of minimalistic, experimental. Your Philip Glass by way of Eastern instrumentation, pretty sparse, excellent. This one I didn't like as much, but it's still pretty good. I'm gonna mess that up. Eberhard Weber, Yellow Fields. More typical ECM sound. Not as good as Bono. I was going to miss his name. Stungard or whatever his name is. That Underwear album's really good. Give it a try. I do like that one much more than this, but this is still really good. So Weber, Yellow Fields, pretty solid 4 there. And I think he threw in this, which is good because I've been meaning to get it. This is the early 2000s remaster of Dark Moon, so you don't need to talk too much about it. Sounds good. Even though it's kind of annoying when they remaster the artwork though, but excellent album. So I'm just gonna end it there. Just try to keep this short and sweet. And take care, guys. I'll catch you next week.